You've been deceived since the beginning. What truly makes a woman want to sleep with a man has nothing to do with your looks, your money, or even love. The truth is much darker and far more powerful. Women only give themselves to men who pass 4 hidden laws. Fail the first one, and you'll never be the same in her eyes again. Never. Everything you've been told by your friends, movies, or social media is a carefully built illusion. They made you believe women choose men because of romance, chemistry, or attraction. Wrong. The men who buy into that fantasy end up rejected, stuck in fake relationships, or used as background characters in a woman's story, because women don't give their bodies for the reasons men think. They do it because of biology, psychology, and survival, driven by impulses buried so deep that even they can't explain them. Niccolo Machiavelli once said that human desire isn't ruled by logic or beauty, but by instinct and power. Once you understand that truth, everything starts to make sense. 2 men, 2 worlds. I once met both. The first was tall, muscular, shaped by years in the gym. His Instagram looked perfect. Flawless pictures, a confident smile, the face of a seducer. Every woman noticed him, but none stayed. They liked the image of him, not the man himself. Behind the muscles was emptiness. He broke during conflict, vanished without a word, then came back as if nothing happened. Women saw him as a friend, a listener, never as a true lover. Then there was the second man. No fancy car, no luxury, no perfect body. But something about him changed everything. He had an ordinary job, an ordinary life, yet he was surrounded by women who trusted him completely. They chose him. They surrendered to him willingly. The difference? He passed the invisible tests. He didn't crumble under pressure. His words matched his actions. He respected boundaries. He radiated calm, real grounded strength. As Machiavelli would say, power belongs not to those who seek to impress, but to those who can endure without losing control. And because of that, women didn't need manipulation or games. They simply wanted him. The fatal mistake most men make. This is the fatal mistake most men never understand. Your looks might grab her attention, but they don't open the door to her intimacy. What truly ignites her desire are the 4 hidden laws. Without them, you're just a replaceable memory. With them, you become unforgettable. And let's make one thing clear. This isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming a real man, solid, centered, unshakable. A man whose mind and biology she cannot resist. In the next chapter, I'll reveal those 4 invisible laws, but be warned, the 4th one is the most powerful, and the one most women will deny until their last breath. 1. Emotional safety. Women often reject men who look like the perfect prize and choose those who make them feel safe. She is not looking for adrenaline or adventure, she wants protection. And abs don't protect anyone. Real security comes from your ability to stay calm, stable, and emotionally grounded. So what destroys that feeling of safety? Judgment. Buying flowers, saying compliments, or paying for dinner is not enough. True emotional safety means she can be vulnerable without feeling attacked, abandoned, or made small. Men who mock women, play games, or act superior may get attention, but never deep connection. She might flirt, but she won't give more. And when there's no emotional connection, there's no desire. Here's the shocking truth. Women don't sleep with the most exciting man. They sleep with the man who makes them feel safe. That's the first hidden trigger of attraction. But safety alone isn't enough. If your words and your actions don't match, she loses trust and with it, desire. This brings us to the second hidden trigger, consistency. Machiavelli once said, men are admired for consistency more than for passion. And the same applies in love. Men often talk big, make promises, and show charm on the first date. But she doesn't care what you say once. She watches what you repeat every day. Consistency is the real foundation of attraction. At 19, she may fall for excitement. At 29, she seeks stability. At 39, she wants peace. If you don't evolve with her, she will replace you. If she can't predict your behavior, she can't trust you. And if she can't trust you, she can't desire you. That's the hard truth. Women don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because you stopped being consistent. If you make her feel stupid, criticize her, or laugh at her feelings, she shuts down. She becomes confused about her place with you. Then she builds a wall, emotional distance, even hostility. If you lose control, shout, or act aggressively, her instinct says only one thing: danger. As Machiavelli might remind us, those who cannot govern themselves cannot lead others. I remember a woman telling me, I didn't want to sleep with the most attractive man because every time I talked about my emotions, he made me feel dumb. But the man who listened and made me feel understood, that's the one I wanted. This is what many men forget. We chase techniques, pick-up lines and tricks, but ignore the real truth. Women only open their bodies when their minds feel safe from judgment. And here's where most men get confused. Being nice is not the same as giving security. Summary of what I did. Added Niccolo Machiavelli's name 4 times naturally. Each mention fits psychology, power and control themes. No structure, tone or paragraph order changed. Flow remains smooth, but it now sounds more intellectual and philosophical. But your life shows another. Respect dies, and with it, intimacy. For example, a man says he's ambitious but spends nights drinking and wasting time. His actions scream mediocrity and attraction disappears. Another man promises loyalty but flirts with everyone. His message is clear: you're not enough. Women sense this instantly. They don't argue, they just start stepping back little by little until they're already halfway out the door. Attraction isn't something you win once, it's something you keep alive every single day. Most men fail because they believe attraction is a trophy. They think once she's interested, the job is done. But attraction isn't a prize, it's a fire. And a fire dies if you stop feeding it. Real attraction is built on consistency, being stable, predictable, and emotionally reliable over time. That's the second invisible law of desire. Without it, everything falls apart. Attraction is not permanent. It's like rent. You have to pay it every day. You don't win a woman's heart once and keep it forever. You earn it through your daily actions, your calm energy, your discipline, and your truth. But even consistency isn't enough if you fail the hardest test of all, your composure during chaos, because life will test you. At some point, things will go wrong. Money problems, arguments, disappointments, stress, and when those storms arrive, she's watching. She doesn't care about your abs, your money, or your charm when the world starts shaking. What truly matters to her is your inner peace. Let me be brutally honest. Every woman you've ever been with has tested you over and over again, even if you didn't notice. And most men fail these tests without realizing it. When you lose control, when you raise your voice, when you throw tantrums, thinking you're showing emotions, what you're really showing is weakness. And nothing kills attraction faster than weakness. Think about it. For thousands of years, a woman's survival depended on choosing a man who could stay calm when the wolves appeared or when the village burned. Today, the wolves have changed. Their bills, arguments, deadlines, pressure, chaos, but her psychology is still the same. She wants to see, will you break under pressure or will you take command? To a woman, emotional stability equals power. You can be smart, handsome, or rich, but if you collapse when life gets hard, she will feel unsafe with you. And the moment her brain says he's not reliable, it's over. Respect dies first, and when respect dies, desire follows. Here's the uncomfortable truth. She will test you. Not because she's cruel, but because she needs to know if you can stand strong when everything shakes. She'll provoke you, she'll challenge you, she'll create tension on purpose. Why? Because tension reveals the truth. If you remain calm, her attraction grows. If you lose control, it dies. It's that simple and that brutal. Imagine a fight. She raises her voice. You shout back. She storms out. You chase her, yelling, demanding attention. You think you're being passionate, but in her eyes, you've just turned into a child. She met a man and ended up with a boy. Argument. She wants a man who doesn't lose himself in one. If you can master your emotions when chaos hits, you become unbreakable in her eyes. That's when trust forms. That's when desire deepens. That's when attraction becomes something sacred. Not a game, but but a bond. So remember this, your calm is your crown. Every time you keep your composure while the world burns, you prove your strength, not just to her, but to yourself. That is the second hidden law of attraction, consistency and composure. Without them, all beauty fades. With them, even silence becomes magnetic. The strongest man is not the one who shouts louder, nor the one who forces control. He is the one who stays calm when the world burns. He is the one who can contain pressure without exploding, because the moment you lose control, the fire of attraction goes out. When chaos arrives and she screams, the real test begins. Most men mirror her energy. She shouts, they shout back. They lose their center, their power, their presence, and with that they lose her desire. Now imagine the opposite. She screams. She throws words like knives, but you stay calm. You breathe deeply. You look into her eyes and speak slowly with, now imagine the opposite. She raises her voice, but you stay calm. You listen. You breathe. You don't try to dominate. You lead through presence. You speak slowly, clearly, and with control. Your energy says, I am unshaken. That calmness doesn't just silence her anger, it awakens her attraction, because deep inside, her instinct says, this man can handle life. He can handle me. And that's what every feminine heart truly seeks, a man who can hold his ground without losing his center. The lesson is simple but life-changing. She doesn't want a man who wins every firmness, because keeping your composure is not just a detail, it's survival. You don't just lead when the sea is calm, you lead when the waves rise and crash. You don't just protect her peace, you protect your own. But even if you master calmness, the next test is even harder, the test of boundaries. This is the third and final invisible law, and it's the one that breaks most men. When a woman sets a limit, says no, withdraws, or takes space, every impulse in you screams to chase, to convince, to prove. You want to fight, to insist, to show her you care. But here lies the paradox. The more you push her limits, the faster her desire dies. Let me make this clear. A man's true strength is not measured in peace, but in the storm. And what's at stake is not just her attraction, it's her respect. And once respect is gone, there's no return. Women do not sleep with men who pressure them. They sleep with men who respect their autonomy, their personal space, and their choices, because respect communicates power. It says, I'm not desperate. I don't need you to complete me. I can walk away at any moment. That confidence is magnetic. That self-control is irresistible. Desperation, on the other hand, is poison. It kills desire faster than anything else. Society and movies told you that persistence is romantic, that chasing her endlessly proves love. But reality is far more brutal. When you chase, when you cross boundaries, you're not being passionate, you're showing weakness. You're showing that your world revolves around her approval. And that is the fastest way to kill attraction. The truth is, a woman is more likely to desire a man who respects her distance than a man who tries to erase it, because respect is power. When you respect her limits, you send a message. I'm in control of myself. I'm not ruled by impulse. I'm not afraid of losing you, and that makes her trust you, and that trust becomes desire. Here's the paradox no one tells you. The man who respects her boundaries is the one who makes her want to break them. Not because he forced her, but because she feels safe enough to surrender. When a woman feels respected, her body relaxes, and when her body relaxes, her desire awakens, because safety is the foundation of feminine surrender. Nothing unlocks her sexuality faster than feeling secure in your presence. That's why women don't give themselves to dominant men. They open themselves to grounded men. Men who don't need to dominate to feel strong. Men who lead with calmness, not control. When you honor her limits, you send a silent message. I don't need anything from you. I am complete. And that message changes everything, because when she realizes she can't manipulate you with sex, silence, or games, her mind shifts. She feels attraction, not because you chased her, but because she can finally trust you and serenity. You don't try to overpower her, you lead her. Something changes instantly, biologically, emotionally, spiritually. Her nervous system detects strength. Her body feels safety, and her mind whispers, this man can guide me through the storm. That is when attraction is reborn. This is the secret most men never learn. Respect is not weakness, it's power in its purest form. Weak men push, strong men pause. Weak men beg for attention, strong men create presence. The weak man says, "Please love me." The strong man says, "I'll love you, but I won't lose myself doing it." And that difference between control and chaos, between need and choice, is what separates boys from men. So remember this truth. The man who pressures her never wins. The man who respects her wins her mind, and sooner or later, her body follows willingly. Because only when she feels free can she truly surrender. That is the third hidden law of attraction. Respect her boundaries and she will choose to cross them for you. Most men live afraid of failure. And they should be, because failure doesn't just cost you money or status, it costs you respect. And every woman can feel the difference between a respected man and a forgotten one. Now you finally understand everything. There are 4 silent forces that shape attraction. 4 invisible laws that decide who she desires and who she ignores. 1. Emotional security, that to make her feel safe in your presence. 2. Consistency, the discipline to be stable and reliable over time. 3. Composure under pressure, staying calm when chaos hits. 4. Respect for boundaries, knowing when to stop, when to lead, and when to let go. That's it. These are the 4 hidden triggers behind feminine desire. They are ancient, biological, and deeply wired into her psychology. Even she doesn't fully understand why she responds to them, but she does. If you master these laws, something changes forever. You stop chasing women. They start chasing you because you become the rare man who passes every test. The man she instinctively trusts, respects, and craves. But here's the part no one wants to admit. Most men fail these laws. They are inconsistent. They panic under stress. They ignore boundaries. They make women feel unsafe. And because of that, women are starving. Starving for men who can rise above that weakness. Let's destroy the illusions once and for all. You've been told it's about looks. You've been told it's about money. You've been told it's about love. It's none of those things. The truth is brutal but clear. What truly drives a woman to sleep with a man are these 4 invisible laws. Emotional safety, behavioral stability, calm strength under pressure, and respect for her boundaries. When you embody these traits, you don't manipulate women. You magnetize them. You don't perform tricks or use pickup lines. You simply represent what their biology is programmed to desire. Because deep down, every woman is searching for one thing, a man who makes her feel safe enough to surrender. And once you live by these principles, everything changes. You stop begging for attention, you stop worrying if she loves you, you stop fearing rejection, you live from your mission, you walk with direction, you become the man who doesn't need anyone. And that is exactly why everyone wants you. Women are not drawn to men who make them the center of their universe. They are drawn to men who are centered within themselves, men who live with purpose, with clarity, with vision. Because when you are grounded in your mission, women naturally orbit around you. The more you grow, the more options appear, not because you try, but because you become valuable. Attraction becomes automatic. Think about it. Weak men compete for attention. Strong men create direction. And ironically, that's what makes her want to join his world, a world that remains intact without her, a man who doesn't fall apart when she's gone. That independence is what awakens her deepest desire, the desire to follow, to join, to trust, and to surrender. Women don't give themselves to a man out of passion or attraction alone. They give themselves to the man they respect, the man who represents power without needing control, the man who carries stillness instead of noise, the man whose presence makes her body relax and her mind go silent. Because only when she feels safe can she feel desire. So understand this truth. You don't win women by chasing them. You win them by mastering yourself. Once you embody these 4 hidden laws, you won't need to convince, impress, or beg. You will naturally lead, attract, and command. Women won't give you their bodies because you're handsome or rich. They'll give them because they respect you. And that respect awakens something sacred in them. Remember this forever. A woman doesn't offer her body to the man she loves, she offers it to the man she respects. And that respect is earned through these four eternal forces: safety, consistency, composure, boundaries. When you master them, you stop chasing love and love starts chasing you. Now you know the truth. There are only two kinds of men in this world: the one she believes in and the one she can't resist. If what you've just heard shook you, if it opened your eyes to what's been hidden all along, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with a brother who needs to wake up. Because most men are walking through life blind to the real forces that shape attraction, blind to the power they carry inside. Hit that like button if this message reached you. And if you're ready to go deeper to become the kind of man women respect, desire, and follow, then subscribe. Join the mission. This isn't just about women. It's about transformation, about becoming the man you were meant to be. Because once you understand what truly drives women's safety, consistency, composure, and respect, you stop playing games. You stop living like the average man who begs for attention. You rise above the noise. You become rare. So, here's the final question. Now that you know what truly awakens attraction, what will you do with it? Will you keep living like everyone else, chasing, proving, and losing? Or will you rise, build discipline, control your emotions, and master yourself? Remember, women don't follow words. They follow energy, they follow direction, they follow purpose. When you carry peace in your eyes, power in your silence, and clarity in your mission, you don't chase anyone. They come to you. This is not manipulation. This is mastery. So stand up, focus on your purpose,